What's up, guys? We're back with another locally coffee recipe. We're here in Boulder, Colorado right now at the Coffee Ride. We're gonna make a Chemex for you guys and kind of show you the process and talk a little bit about why we do certain things, why it matters to do certain things when you're brewing a Chemex. Let's get into it. First, we are going to put our filter in and we're gonna rinse it.
A couple reasons. First, the rinsing of the filter primarily gets rid of the paper flavor. That's something that we don't want to add directly back into our coffee that we're brewing. So elimination of the paper flavor, and the other thing is that it helps. These Chemexes have been designed for a certain flow rate, and it kind of helps with the suction up against the glass there.
Great.
But yeah, and you're preheating the Chemex, which is super important. And then once you're done with that, you're preheating your cup. No waste. And thick side of the filter towards the lip.
Yep.
Important.
Okay, so we'll turn our scale on here, zero it out. We're gonna be using 35 grams of coffee here today. And the ratio we're going for is 1 to 16.
For the Chemex, it's a grind size that are particles very similar to like a coarse sea salt.
Okay.
It's something that's relatable that's in your cabinets.
Okay, so first we're gonna start with blooming the coffee. And why do we bloom the coffee?
So coffee bloom, there's a couple things that are going on there. From a roasting standpoint, the bloom will indicate whether or not a coffee is fresh or not. Older, staler coffee won't really have too much of a bloom. But the main reason is you want to wait because it's actually a bunch of CO2 that's coming out from that first pour, and you don't want that going back into your freshly brewed coffee there.
Okay, so we've let the coffee bloom for about 30-40 seconds. And how much are we gonna put in now after the bloom? What's our first pour we're looking for?
The first pour, we kind of want to go from the outside in, and then we want to continue that for about another 50 to 75 grams. You just really want to make sure that all those grounds are saturated. And you really want to watch the flow rate and make sure that the flow rate is kind of staying consistent like that, because if it slows down, you want to make some adjustments. So now you can probably do your third pour.
How much are we looking for here?
It's about that same 75 grams that we're looking for. We basically just want to keep that bed the same, so as it starts coming down, we're just adding a little bit more coffee.
Gotcha.
Water. We're adding more water. So as you can see, the flow rate's kind of slowed down a little bit, so you can actually take those corners and lift the whole thing up, and it kind of resets that suction rate. And then sometimes, kind of depending on the grind and the coffee type, sometimes you actually need to like stand there and kind of hold it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Makes really good coffee. It's only 4 minutes of your life.
Yeah, right.
So the benefits of a pour over are typically in a regular coffee maker. You'll notice that when you're done and you're about to dump your grinds out, there's a whole bunch of grinds that are on the side that might not be wet or even have had any contact with the water. So with this, you get an even distribution of the water, and make sure that the whole 35 grams that you put in there is actually going to go into the brewing of your coffee, instead of, say, 10 grams got stuck to the side and you're only actually brewing with 20 grams.
Right.
But the flow rate's pretty important, so the gooseneck kettle kind of just restricts that flow rate and makes sure that you're only allowed to do like grams at a time, instead of like a regular largemouth tea kettle where it's like you're dumping like 100 grams in a second,
Okay, so our brew's done. We're gonna take the filter out. So at the end of our brew, we kind of want to mix up the coffee. Right at the beginning, we're getting super extracted coffee with all those flavors, and we kind of want to mix it together with the end of the brew and make sure the entire batch is going to taste the same. It's just a nice little swirl. Get it all mixed together. Then we're going to pour it into our mug and enjoy.